So obviously today is going to be a little bit different. This is only the content today, and this webinar is designed just for service providers, just like you, whether you have an agency or a software company or something like that. You're here because you specifically serve Amazon sellers around the world. Like I know Drew, he does email marketing, some other things for service providers. And the truth of the matter is, Seth, whenever we go to live events and we meet other service providers or software companies or whatever, we're always hanging out in the back of the room talking about the latest and greatest strategies that we're using to grow our agencies, how we're getting client acquisition, partnerships, and things like that. But there's really no formal training, if you will. I like to use that word lightly, that helps people do the things that they need to do to grow their agencies because we're all there serving sellers. So if you sell to Amazon sellers, you're in the right place today. So, Seth, um, tell us real quick why we're doing this, because that's what a lot of people are going to ask. So why would you guys tip your hat and show all your best kept secrets of growing an agency? And that's what's pretty cool.
Well, I mean, Sean, you're going to tell the story as we go through it, but essentially we have these conversations every day anyway, so we might as well do it in a group format. If you're selling to Amazon sellers and you're trying to grow and get more clients, like you're in the right spot. Sean and I have built, I think you've got the stats on it, but several multi-million dollar businesses that serve Amazon sellers as clients. So we're attracting clients every day, and we just want to share kind of the top four things that have put the most clients in our businesses every day. So Sean, you can just go ahead and go through it. I think it's going to be really good, guys. I'm going to jump back into the background. I saw Alex jumped in, so long time no see. A couple other longtime friends. I'm going to hang out in the background and chat with you guys. Let Sean
Cool.
take you through the content.
Yeah. So Seth and I have been doing something called insanely smart marketing specifically for you service providers for about a year now. And things have been going crazy, but a lot of you are reaching out to us and you're saying, hey, can you help me? I found out you guys are doing this on the side. And at the end of the day, there's only two of us and there's only so many hours in the day. So today we decided to throw all of our best strategies out there to help you guys get where you need to be in that business. Plus, I'm going to unveil something that we haven't talked about yet. Of course, we always have to save that to the last. It's like parents used to take me through the bank drive-through, and at the end of the transaction, they always give me a lollipop. When I was a kid, so I was like, "Hey, let's go to the bank," and mom's like, "Son, we don't have any reason to go to the bank. I don't have any checks to cash, and I don't have any money to withdraw. But we just go through the drive-through just to get a lollipop." So your lollipop's coming at the end. Seth and I are going to show you how we built companies like most recently Post Purchase Pro in record time, adding over 1,000 monthly paying clients in the first year. Now, when I say that, it just sounds normal to me. But when I talk to some of you and our other friends out there in the space, they're like, how in the heck did you guys do that so quick? And how we've sold $476,000 in one 90-minute webinar. Also, how we built an email list of 91,000 warm contacts that are Amazon sellers. And these folks knowingly opted in without paying for that traffic. Also, how we developed over 400 partners in 15 months and how we tapped into those partners' clients list without paying affiliate commissions. Also, want to show you how we maintain 67% net profit margins from our agencies and how we sold just one of our services businesses for 7x recently. Yeah, 7x. Now, we didn't get as much money as I wanted to out of it, like Post Purchase Pro. We've exited Post Purchase Pro. It's on autopilot now. I'm still getting my earnouts every 2 weeks, I believe. And, it is what it is, but we're on the back seat now or on the back burner, and we're looking at things going, how can we help the maximum amount of people? And how our partners consistently pitch our services to their customers like it's their job. Like you work for another company. We have one partner overseas who has 30,000 Amazon seller clients, and they send us referrals like it's their job. So who are we? Most of you know, my name's Sean Hart. That was Seth Stevens. He's hanging out in the background answering questions. And we run an agency called Insanely Smart Marketing. Don't worry, you can't sign up for ISM here on this call today. We're closed to new clients. So if you're a little nervous about that, I just want to put that out there. You cannot join us. We're not taking on any new clients. But ISM is an agency serving companies just like yours. You see, we help top Amazon agencies, software companies, and developers and service companies grow fast with insanely smart marketing. Since 2015, Seth and I have closed over 2,500 high ticket deals, and we've collected millions in recurring revenue. And like I said, we built a warm email list of 91,000 Amazon sellers and done all of this, my friends, without spending one single penny on ads. It's not because I don't know how to spend money on ads. It's because we're using a set of unique strategies that most service companies like yours are simply ignoring. So why should you care? Because if you're like most service providers, you probably struggle with getting as many clients as you want. You struggle to get people to opt in to claim your lead magnets, and you rely on a slow trickle of referrals and weak offers. Unfortunately, you spend countless dollars and hours attending events, sponsoring this thing and that thing. You don't have a reliable, repeatable system. But that changes today because I'm showing you exactly how we've done the impossible and why several people have called us the most successful marketers in the Amazon service space. So who's this for? If you're joining us late, and I see some of you have, this is only for Amazon seller-focused service providers. You want to attract more clients, close more deals, build a bigger warm audience, make better offers, of course, and have people lined up to claim your lead magnets, getting in front of large audiences without spending a dime on paid ads. This is for you if you're a full service agency or agencies that manage PPC, logistics, or accounting. Even if you're a consultant who serve Amazon sellers, a software company, you help physical product sellers grow. If you want more seller clients, you're in the right place. Here's what I'm going to show you today. 4 secret breakthroughs that help Seth and I scale faster than anyone I know. Number 1 is how to build your audience or your email prospect list. And then we're going to jump into how to use partnership collaborations to fill your calendar with warm leads that are ready to purchase. You're going to do this at scale later today. I'm going to show you how to write emails that print money. And finally, we'll wrap up with how you can repackage your existing content to create webinars that convert eyeballs into sales calls. That was Seth's line. That sounds good, doesn't it? Who wants to create eyeballs into sales calls? Just say, hell yeah, if you're with me on that. I'm going to show you how to build an audience that actually wants to hear from you and how to create offers that sell themselves and to do all this without paid ads and without burning out. By the way, the most powerful strategy I'll be revealing later today. So hang out for your lollipop. That comes at the very end, of course, and you're going to want to see it before anyone else does. So imagine what your business would look like if you had a pipeline of leads who already trust you. If you could fill your calendar with warm leads ready to give you money and a sales system so smooth that you never feel like you're pitching. So let's go ahead, Seth. I'm going to jump in right now into the first strategy in the agenda, which is build your audience email prospect list. You ready for that? Seth, anything before I get going?
I think we're all good, Sean.
Okay. So breakthrough number 1, build your audience and email prospect list. Is there anyone here, Seth, I should be warned of? I haven't looked at the attendee list yet.
No, I've been hanging out with everybody in the chat box. It's been fun. For those of you who haven't said hi yet, I'm hanging out with several of you.
Oh, Robbie Stanley's in the house, the
Yes.
money man, and his note taker. Come on, Rob. Bring Desiree. She takes better notes. Yeah, there's some cool people in here. Dan's here. Hey, Dan. This is going to be a lot of fun. All right, let's get in here. I don't want to waste any more time, Seth. I just want to see who my hecklers were.
Let's go.
So build your audience. What'd you say, buddy?
I just said, let's go.
Let's go. I got my Pacers hat on, I'm a bandwagon fan. But actually, it's just to cover up my gray hair. Look at that, man. That's what teenage kids will do to you. So build your audience and email prospect list. We build a warm audience of 91,000 Amazon sellers using the strategies that I'm showing you right here, which has directly led to millions in recurring revenue. Did you know, that email is the highest converting source of traffic, period? You can just Google it like I did. If you don't believe me, you get the same answer. And that means that every time you're in front of an audience, you have any exposure or traffic, your number 1 goal, if you followed me or any of the events that I've been to, your number 1 goal should be to convert as many people as possible into an email opt-ins, because that's where you actually generate sales calls and revenue. So let me ask you, what do you think the chances are that an Amazon seller will see or hear your message one time and buy immediately? What do you think that is? Well, I'll give you the answer. Almost 0. Have you ever tried any of these strategies to get clients? All right, post on LinkedIn, or you buy a cold email list, attend or sponsor events. A lot of us do that. Bring a guest speaker on podcasts, or being a guest speaker, I should say. Speaking on stage, that's a lot of fun. Joining Facebook or WhatsApp groups, direct messaging sellers, running paid ads, paying for a newsletter, or forming partnerships. Have you ever done any of this, right, and not got the results that you wanted? Just go ahead and type in the chat box right now which one of these strategies you've tried. Just pick the one that you tried the most while I hydrate here. Seth, what do you have?
Yeah, let me see here. Rob Stanley says almost all of them. Kamal says all of them. Let's see if anybody else has tried any of these things. We have Aaron, Alex, Britton. Sorry if I say it wrong. Christian, Dan,
No, he's not.
Drew, Gerson, Jessica, Kamal, Kelly, Nicholas, Rob, Rob again. Oh, two Robs. Hey, Rob.
So you guys are familiar with
Taylor.
these strategies, right?
Yep.
Well,
Email and Facebook.
the truth is all of these strategies generate traffic and exposure, but here's the problem. None of them work very well without follow-up marketing, especially email marketing. I'm going to prove it to you. How many of you have presented great content and then shared your contact information, but had hardly anyone opt in? You end up with 0 new clients. Let me know in the chat boxes this has happened to you before. Just say yes if you created great content and then ask people to follow up and you get nothing.
Rob's had that happen. Nicholas has had that happen. Kelly's had that happen. I've had that happen. Kamal's had that happen. Aaron, 100% for sure.
Well, me
Yes.
too, until I learned a couple of secrets. So you did great by getting traffic and exposure, right? Kamal, right? Rob, but you also got no opt-ins and no revenue. So that's not so great. The good news is that you can dramatically boost your results by simply adding in one crucial step. What do you think that step is, Seth?
You know it.
It's called the irresistible call to action. So you use the same traffic and exposure, but add an irresistible call to action that completely changes the trajectory of what happens next. An irresistible call to action grabs the attention of the audience and gets them to immediately opt into your email list, which eventually results in mountains of revenue. Don't worry, I'm going to show you this entire process today. Most of you are getting a tiny amount of email opt-ins and therefore getting a fraction of the clients you deserve. That's a giant mistake because you can continue to make this mistake when creating your calls to action. At the end of your talks, your presentations, your interviews, you say, hey, scan my QR code to learn more, or reach out if you have any questions. Would you respond to that call of action? Hell no. Scan to learn more is the equivalent of saying, hey, I have nothing of value, so please forget me. The worst part is that you do have valuable resources. You're just not using the correct positioning. So let's change that. I'm going to show you how to create irresistible calls to action and lead magnets that will supercharge your email list and revenue growth. Irresistible calls to action contain 3 powerful psychological triggers. Most of you know this, you just don't implement it. The first is value. What's the benefit? What's in it for me? Second is scarcity. Like you can't get this anywhere else. And finally, urgency. You have to do this now. So here's a typical call to action. All right. Reach out if you have any questions. No benefit, no scarcity, no urgency. Guess what? No one gives a shit. Here's a good, irresistible call to action. For the last 4 months, I've been working on a special report that's going to show any Amazon seller how to optimize their back-end search terms and get an immediate revenue boost of 36% on average. Scarcity. I've never shared this publicly and you can't get it anywhere else. And guess what? This is so valuable. I plan on charging $500 for this starting next month. So this is literally the only chance you'll ever have to get this free for life. That, my friends, is an irresistible call to action. You might end up with different calls to action for different traffic sources, but whenever you're asking your audience to do anything, you absolutely must make it irresistible by using urgency, scarcity, and value. A lot of you that are in this room here today and that are still coming in have seen me do this firsthand when I go to events, and I'll get 60 to 80% of the room to opt in at my talk. That's the only reason I'm there. I'm not there for a social media post or for an applause. I'm there for a list. Does this make sense? Type yes in the chat box right now if you're with me, Seth.
All right. Rob is the first one who's with us. Nicholas is with us. Yes, makes sense, says Kamal. Sean, I think you're doing a pretty good job. Drew's with us.
Sweet.
Aaron's with us. Let's
I want
go.
to make sure you guys don't fall asleep. I got me a cortisone shot in my old shoulder last Friday, and I think it wore off today. So I had to drink some caffeine before this call. Getting old, man, sucks. So by simply using our irresistible call to action formula, your warm email list will grow like a freaking sky, what do you call it? Skyrocket. You'll see like crazy astronomical growth in your list and the growth performance if you simply add this component. It's not shady, it's not underhanded, it's simply business. When we're at an event, we're sponsoring thousands of dollars and spending our time and energy, and we're away from our families and home. It's uncomfortable. Why not make the best of it? Here's what I want you to understand. Email has been responsible for more than 60% of our revenue, and most of you are completely missing out. It's not that you're not emailing, you're just not doing it right. And we're going to get into that in the next breakthrough. You see, a warm email audience is way more valuable than LinkedIn or social followers or likes on your post or any other type of vanity metrics that people use to feel important. I can't, it's like whenever you make a post, 80% of the people that are giving you a thumbs up are your friends and colleagues who are never going to spend a dime with you, but it makes you feel good. But are we in business to feel good? I know I'm not. It makes me feel good to make money. Warm email is king because it's the highest converting marketing channel. You also permanently own the audience. No social media platform can take it away from you, and you can continue to add value and follow up to your audience without having your reach restricted. Your prospects read emails to take action, but they scroll social media for entertainment. That's a huge difference, isn't it? Most of you are doing this all wrong. Are you doing it wrong? Are you prioritizing email capture as a necessary first step of the sales process? Is your email list growing every month? If not, your revenue probably isn't growing very fast either, is it? If you don't have a list, you don't have leverage. And if you don't know how to build a list, then you're stuck chasing leads one at a time. I used to be the same way. I relied on referrals and cold outreach. It was unpredictable and, of course, exhausting. Now, maybe you're thinking, well, Sean, I've tried building a list. It didn't work for me. Well, I get it. Most of you build the wrong list the wrong way. And then you throw up a generic lead magnet and hope someone bites. Or even worse, buy a cold email list and pray someone responds. Have you ever gone fishing and not caught any fish? Just because you put the bait in the water doesn't mean you're going to go home with a bucket full of fish. It doesn't work that way, right? Got to be the right bait at the right time with the right fish. And of course, just like history, I got a guy doing weed eating and lawn mowing right outside of my office here. It's great. Drives me nuts. It's like my cosmic joke, isn't it, Seth? Here we go. What I'm going to show you is different. It's built around offers that actually solve a known pain and emails people cannot wait to open. We never build vanity lists. We build machines that deposit leads and therefore dollars. I'm going to show you how to stop chasing and start attracting. The first thing you'll need is an irresistible lead magnet. That's one that makes people jump to opt in. Here's what I mean. You want your irresistible lead magnet to contain a solution that solves a really painful problem. This problem is perfect for your customer. We offer it in exchange for an email and other contact information, and we promote it through webinars, through partnerships, and content. Every single lead goes into our email list. And then we email those leads consistently with valuable content, not a newsletter, valuable content that positions us as the authority. And then we follow up with offers that actually fill up our calendar with sales calls. That one single move changed everything. And my list quickly became my biggest asset. Let me tell you a story about a Mexico opt in. And some of you, I know Rob was there. I used to speak at a lot of events, for Zoom webinars or being a guest on a podcast or a speaker on a panel, like, in-person events. One year, I think I did 34 events, big rooms, lots of people, all eyes on me for a minute. Now, you've probably had the opportunity to speak in front of an audience just like this, whether in person or online. But most of you waste that time on stage and you treat it like it's a TED talk, not a business opportunity. Meanwhile, we use a totally different strategy. When I speak, I don't hope they remember me. I make them remember me. And I make them remember why they want to do business with me, because I don't end with applause. I end with a what? I can hear you say it with me. Irresistible call to action. Not a pitch, not a business card, something they actually want. something that's valuable. You cannot get this anywhere else. All right. That's scarcity, right? Scan it now or lose it forever. And I don't give them all day to decide. You guys have seen me do this. Here's the link. You've got 60 seconds. Go do it now. You will not be able to do this later. Is that urgency? This is the exact formula to get people to take action. There was this one event in Mexico, super tough crowd, mostly agency owners, software guys, and private label sellers. Not exactly easy to impress. I gave my talk, got a few laughs, but then I dropped my irresistible offer. Oh my gosh, my computer just crashed, Seth. I got to fix that. The presentation just closed up on me. Let me see what I have here.
Yikes.
Oh, it's trying to update the software. Get out
Well,
of here.
Sean, I'll tease it while you're talking about it. We're in about 31 seconds. Whenever he gets that pulled back up, we're going to give you guys a custom GPT that we made that actually spits out our lead magnets for us. We're just going to give it to you, let you do it. We're going to show you an example. It's amazing, and it'll actually position it with urgency, position it with scarcity, position it with value, and then create the thing for you. It's amazing. Keep going, Sean.
So I gave that talk in Mexico, got a few laughs, and then I dropped my irresistible call to action. What it was a killer product insert that we had built in-house. The same one that helped us get over 80% opt-ins. So everywhere we go, we look for opt-ins, even in product inserts. This is what it looked like. Here's how I positioned my irresistible call to action. Most Amazon product inserts get less than 2% of customer opt-ins. All right. But I'm going to share an insert with you that took me over 7 years of testing to get it right. And it literally got us through thousands of split tests. It got us 80% opt-ins regardless of the product category. Some of you remember this. I've never shared this publicly, ever. And I have no plans to do this again. This is me verbatim speaking from stage, okay? This is not part of the presentation. You can have it if you want it, but I'm just telling you how we positioned it. In fact, this link will only be live for the next 5 minutes, and after that, it disappears forever. Who wants it? And what happened next? It was crazy. It happens every time. From Australia to Mexico to wherever I go, phones everywhere. Phones everywhere. People jumping over chairs to grab the code. Event promoters scanning from backstage. Even the AV guy opted in Mexico. I walked off the stage, looked at my phone. 88% of the room have opted in. 88% is insanely high, but it never would have been that high without an irresistible call to action formula that I just shared with you. I'm talking dozens of leads from one talk, no ad spend, no begging, just a formula that works. Everyone was not only blown away by the material I shared, some of the jokes I dropped and making myself look like a complete dummy. You got to get their attention, right? Break the pattern. But they're also blown away at the lead magnet that I shared and how all 20 other speakers got 0 leads. I walked away with over 200 new contracts. Why? Or contacts. Not because I was the best speaker, but because I'm the only one who had a plan, a real offer, a real lead magnet, a system to capture attention and turn it into action. The room, including the event promoters, opted in. One guy even walks up to me after and says, "That was an amazing talk. I love the way you converted the entire room into leads." This was a very brilliant business guy. Later, I found out that he was the founder of a giant software company worth billions. We're still friends today. And that's when it hit me. Speaking on stage or on Zoom or a podcast or wherever isn't about exposure. It's about capture. You don't win the room with your talk, my friend. You win it with your opt-in. I've done it in South Africa and converted the entire room. And people said, "Whoa, what are you doing?" Next guy goes and speaks after me and he tries to end his talk. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. Hey, I forget what it was. Maybe I forget the guy's name, but I just met him. I said, "How do people find out more about what you just put up there? You got a website or something?" "Oh yeah, good idea, Sean. Here it is." Boom. He got half the room to opt in. He flew to South freaking Africa, gave a presentation, probably spent 10 grand or more on airfare, away from his family for a half a week, and he didn't ask for an opt-in. I wanted to choke the guy, and I just met him. If you don't give people a very good reason to take action, they won't. They'll clap, and then they forget you. But if your offer is good enough, if it's valuable enough, urgent enough, scarce enough, people will stop what they're doing and trade something valuable to get it. And once you have that lead, now you have leverage. So here's the real secret. Don't speak for applause. Speak for attention and capture it while it's hot. That one shift changed everything for me, and it'll do the same for you. Now, when we launch something, we don't start from scratch. We send an email. People click and buy or book a call. That's the power of audience ownership. Most of your competitors are invisible. They post randomly and hope people notice. They don't build a list, they don't follow up. They stay stuck in the new client hamster wheel. Think email leads, okay? Not likes. Building a list is not that complicated. You need a reason for people to join, a place for them to land, and something to say once they're on it. We use weekly emails, simple Zoom trainings like this one today, behind the scene content, occasional launches and promos. We show up consistently. We build trust over time. That's what creates demand and what brings people to you. Now, let me ask you, all right, if you had to go out there today and generate 10 sales this week, could you send one email and make it happen? Could you? Look, if the answer is no, then you don't have a real audience. You have a collection of cold contacts, and chances are you paid too much for them. That's why breakthrough number one was so important, to build your audience before you need it. Dig your well before you're thirsty, because once you have a list, everything becomes easier. Sales, partnerships, growth, exit value, you name it. You want a shortcut? I know you do, because you're here with me and you're my friends. We created a custom GPT that will create your irresistible lead magnets for you. Here's what it does. Hey, Seth, did you get that redirect fixed on that? I just thought about that. Check this out. Here's how it works. This is a project Seth and I worked on. So what's the name of your business? And you can see Seth said ISM. That's our insanely smart marketing. I'm going to build you a lead magnet, right? Using Seth and Sean's principles of value, scarcity, and urgency. Da, 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 da. Does it sound good? Yes. Next question. Who's your perfect customer? Well, private label Amazon seller sells more than 1 million per year. Next question. What painful problem are your best clients trying to solve? They want more profitability. Good deal. What solution could you use to solve this problem in your lead magnet? I can show them how email marketing can add additional sales to their business with no extra ad spend. All right. How long did it take you to learn this? 9 years. Good. What's the ultimate benefit? More profitable revenue that is low risk. Have you ever charged for this? Yes, I normally charge $800 for this type of account audit. All right. No, I'm sorry. I've charged $10,000 for this knowledge. I was reading the wrong paragraph. Next question. How rare is your solution? Well, this experience is unique to me. How long is this available for free? For 24 hours only. Okay. What format is it? You choose for me. Do you want me to help plan what you actually deliver? Yes. Fantastic. Here's the lead magnet marketing position plus creation plan for your business. Here it is. The title. That's so sexy. The Profit Amplifier, how 1 million plus Amazon sellers lock or unlock extra sales with zero ad spend using email marketing. You just did this. That's the first time I read it. That's pretty amazing. All right. The problem it solves: private label sellers doing over 1 million in revenue. It's ridiculous. It spells it all out for you. And Seth, out of the kindness of his 36-year-old heart, he's going to share this with you with one quick link. This is the actual PDF. You just download it and use it as a lead magnet. Heck, I would create half a dozen of these and create a lead magnet value stack. All you have to do is click, answer the simple questions, boom, it spits out a PDF. Seth?
Yep. So I just dropped the link for that in the chat box, guys. That thing will create the positioning. It'll show you how to position it as you give a talk. It'll show you the value, show you the scarcity, show you the, yeah, that's, I didn't set up a redirect or anything, but I actually dropped the entire link in the chat box now, guys. You can just plug in all your details and then you can say, run it again, and it'll give you another idea and another idea. So pretty amazing. And then at the very end, it'll say, do you want me to actually create the lead magnet that's packed with the value? And that's what you can actually give away, because a lot of people are on podcasts or on these Zoom panels or whatever, and they have nothing that they're confident in that's valuable that they can give, and this will kind of do it for you. So that's a great first start, guys. Let me know in the chat box if you actually got it, because
I want to make sure everybody has access to that link before I move on. If you didn't, please say so, and Seth will just send a private message to you, because that's I got to tell you this little secret. See where it says on that slide, creator TK redirect? So this is a trick that I learned about 10 years ago from who wrote the 4-Hour Workweek, Seth? Tim Ferriss.
Timmy Ferriss, yeah.
So in Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Cookbook, he had all these cheat codes and stuff. So TK is what we use when we're creating content and we need to come back and check it later. Why? Because there's not one single word in the English alphabet that has the letters TK uh, in that format, TK, T and then
Yeah.
K in the word. So if you're creating content or you're writing a script and you want to come back to it, this is a cool hack. Just put TK in there, and then before you deliver the content, you just do a quick search within the platform for TK, and it'll show you all the places that you missed out on. So that's why it says TK. I love that hack. We use it almost daily. Unless you're on the Atkins diet, the name Atkins, which is a family name, has TK in it, but there's no other word in the English language. Does anybody love that? I think it's cool. All right. No problems with the link, Seth?
Everybody says good besides Alex, and I'll get him straightened out. Keep going.
So remember this, Alex. Anytime you're in front of an audience, you should be capturing emails using your lead magnets. But what if I don't have an audience yet? Well, that's perfect. Neither did I. We just know what not to do, like buying cold lists or waiting for organic traffic to finally work. Take your irresistible lead magnets that you create for free using the GPT set just created and share with you, and insert them into places you're already showing up, like emails or direct messages, stage time, Zoom calls, podcast, any place. Just provide something of value and tell them how to get it, but you have to hide it behind an opt in. And then lead by lead, your list will be built. When we first started doing Amazon business and working with sellers, we slowly grew a lead list of about 140 Amazon sellers before we ever made our first offer. But when I did make the first offer, it created about $45,000, a windfall of revenue for us out of 146, if I remember, back in 2014. And that lead list, it came from doing what was it called, Seth? Google Hangouts. And people would register and do Google Hangouts. So anyone that joined us or watched our replays became our lead list. And now we have over 91,000 sellers. Think of it. Oh, now I sound like Trump. Any questions on breakthrough number one before we jump into number two as I pause for station identity?
Let's see here if there's any questions. I think everybody just grabbed that. GPT probably messing with that. Rob says all good. So I think we're all good, Sean.
Yeah, don't mess with the GPT right now. Just bookmark that because we're just getting ready to hit the fever pitch here and show you some good stuff. Speaking of fever, anybody watch my local Indiana Pacers? I'm hanging out in Indianapolis all summer. My Pacers have accidentally found themselves into the NBA Finals. It's ridiculous. 1-1. I think we're playing again tomorrow night. Who you for, Pacers or Thunder? Just type it in the chat box. I want to see where my peeps are.
Everyone loves the underdog. Come on, Indy. Drew says he was built. He was busy building a lead magnet. Drew, put that away. Yeah. All right, let's go.
All right. In our agenda, we already talked about building an audience. Now we're going to talk about my favorite, which is use partnership collaborations to fill your calendar with warm leads that are ready to purchase. And then we'll talk about emails that print money and how to repackage your content. Without further ado, use partnerships, collaborations to fill your calendar with warm leads that are ready to purchase. Instead of chasing clients one at a time, piecemeal, I'm going to show you how this strategy that we use can get clients in bulk. We're talking wholesale clients, all without spending a dime on advertising. It's like fishing with a net versus a fishing line, right? Step one, build your partner list. I call this partner first prospecting. That's why a lot of you are here today, because we never go out looking for clients. We look for partners. Step two is monetize your partnerships. We call it the cross promotion. You're going to love it. The onboarding embed, the masterclass strategy, and finally the hack session. All right. Slide. They're all blank. Here we go. Step one, build your partner list. Partner first prospecting. That's exactly what it means. Go prospect for partners, not clients. While most of you chase sellers one at a time, that's a great start. You may even buy a booth space at an event and try to speak to sellers one at a time when they stop by, like a lot of you I recognize here in the room. Or you passively attend events like Dan, hoping to run into a few sellers that might turn into clients. Or you ask a few clients, that you do have for a referral. Hey, if you like what I'm doing for you, do you mind sending this out to a friend? Or the worst, you run paid ads hoping to book a call. You might offer a free audit that hardly anyone claims because everyone's doing free audits, thanks to Joe Polish from his late 90s Piranha Marketing. Played out. That's in your backyard, by the way. Rob, if you haven't met Joe yet, you should go check him out. I'll make an introduction. There is a much better way, though. Instead of chasing sellers one by one, we chase partners. These partners already have hundreds or even thousands of our perfect seller clients. We prospect always for partners, not clients. So that's why we call it partner first prospecting. While you hunt clients one by one, we're going after the people who already have our clients, other agencies, non competing, other software tools, of course, non competing, and service providers with a warm and hungry audience, non competing. And we make them an offer they can't refuse. What if I walked up to you and said, hey, I have X amount of Amazon sellers on my email list. I'd love to send my sellers more information about your company and what you do. This is irresistible. Most businesses are just like you. They want exposure to more sellers. So give it to them and watch the doors open. I didn't say sell it to them. I didn't say barter it to them. Give it to them and watch the doors open for you, because the law of reciprocity kicks in. That's a mouthful. And a meaningful partnership develops. This has literally never failed. We never chase cold leads. We build partnerships. And here are 8 places to get partners. Events. Your partners are at the booths. They're not the ones walking around the fair. LinkedIn. They're writing the post, not reading the post. Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups, introductions from other partners, speaker list. You can go to a lot of these live events and download a speaker list that shows you everyone who's sponsored and or spoken at the event. Look at the sponsors. Those are the people that are paying thousands of dollars to set up a booth at the show. Reach out to them and make them an offer they can't refuse. Let me send your information to my list of Amazon sellers. No, I don't want you to pay me for it. I just want to expose my contacts to your company because I think it's awesome. And Seth, I want you to explain this. This is like so brain dead simple to do. You can find your partners on Amazon Service Provider Network. Seth?
Yeah. So, guys, if you have a service out there, one of the great ways to get leads is to have Amazon promote you directly as for being a service provider in their service provider network. So either you're approved and you're in the service provider network, or you can do both. You can get approved and then do this hack, which is just go and look at the service provider network that Amazon is already sending leads to. So if you just type that in Amazon Service Provider Network, and then click on, go back one slide, Sean. You click on Explore Services there at the top. It goes to, next slide, it goes to this category breakdown. So like if you're selling account management, you wouldn't want to partner probably so much so with other account management companies, but you can partner with the accountants and you can partner with advertising or cataloging or inventory, right? So like all the stuff that you don't do, Amazon's giving you a list broken down by category of other service providers in the Amazon industry that they have said, hey, I don't mind sending traffic their way. So then when you click into this, Sean, you click into the category, and I clicked on account management to show you, it's just, page after page of other service providers serving Amazon sellers. And guess what? How many hundreds, if not thousands of sellers are on each one of their respective lists? So we just go direct to the source and we say, hey, Seller Drive, we have, and Sean will show you how to position it here in a second, but what if we could just step in front of Seller Drive's audience? Now we don't have to chase individually. We can just go one by one and develop this massive partner network. And we're going to show you how to actually make this work here in just a second. Go ahead.
So, of course, you can go straight to the source and grab all the partners that Amazon themselves are referring sellers to, all sorted by category. Pretty cool hack, right? Now that you know where to get partners, let's move on to the fun part, how to monetize your partnerships. All right. Oh, man. There we go. Monetize your partnerships. The cross promotion is next up. Oh, too many animations here. I didn't build this slide, but I'm not throwing Seth under the bus. Thanks for building it for me, Seth. You did a great job. The cross promotion, what is it? Promote your partner's non-competing offer to your audience by making a recommendation. Never directly ask for a reciprocal promotion. Don't do it. It sounds shady. It's underhanded. It sounds like you have ulterior motives, which we know you do. But if you say, hey, I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine, that's a lot less compelling than just say, hey, let me scratch your back. All right. Any human, 99 out of 100 of these people will immediately ask, hey, what can I do for you? They will always do the same without having to ask. Here's what you can expect. You should expect sellers to claim your lead magnet each time your partners email their audience. new leads with each email send. Think about that. When should you do this? When you just have one or more partners, or for your first partner. Use 3 different lead magnets. All should attract a different segment of your audience and for a different pain reason. Think about that. Some people want this lead magnet, or, some people are trying to solve a different problem than the next guy. So if you use Seth's quick hack there with his GPT project, create a few different lead magnets, because something that resonates with me might not resonate with Seth, and vice versa, right? How do you make this successful? You already have your irresistible lead magnet from breakthrough number 1, so use it. When they ask, how can they help you? And they will, have your partners send out an email recommending you and your lead magnet to their audience. People will start opting in, and you can email them immediately offering them more value to join on a call to look at their business with them. Hopefully this makes sense. Scheduling these cross promotions on a regular basis, monthly or quarterly, works best. Sometimes you get overwhelmed with these cross promotions, so start small and build it slowly. Here's a tip: write the emails for your partners so that they can send it out, making it easy for them. But also to nail the positioning and make sure that value, scarcity, and urgency are all in place to capture the maximum amount of leads, which we're going to show you how to create those emails in the next breakthrough. Any one of you who ever cross promoted with us, we literally hand you a swipe file. All you have to do is copy and paste into your email service provider. It's so simple. We're easy to do business with, right? Now let's look at all Seth's
All right, Sean.
animations here.
So let me explain this, guys. So Sean showed you how to build a partner list. Don't go after sellers, go after partners, and we showed you a bunch of different ways to find partners. Step 2 is, a lot of you guys have paid for introduction services. You've met people that are like your partners sitting in your network, but you haven't done anything. So we're going to show you 4 ways to monetize them. We have the cross promotion. Sean just showed you that's the easiest one. You literally just make a cross promotion. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, but you always give first. The second one is the onboarding embed. Sean's getting ready to go through it. The third one is the masterclass strategy. We're going to show you how you can host your own masterclass and get hundreds of leads all at once. And then the last one is the hacks event, and that one's going to generate the most amount of leads. Pretty exciting stuff, and we're going to show you how to do them all. So pay attention here. This is like
Love it.
really, really valuable.
I love your eyebrows when they're bouncing up and down when you get excited, Seth. It's cool. All right.
Nice.
The onboarding embed. Yeah, I'm jealous. It's dripping enthusiasm. Don't you guys love Seth and his personality? So fun to work with. The onboarding embed. What is it? Have your irresistible lead magnet or a recommendation for your service embedded into the onboarding process of your partner's business. Offer first to do the same for them always. All right. And then they will reciprocate. Here's what you can expect. Every time your partner onboards a new client, you will automatically get exposure for free. That means a consistent flow of new leads. When should you start? When you have one or more partners, or maybe with your first partner. How to make it successful. Whenever your partner onboards a client, simply have an automated email go out to the client recommending that they claim your lead magnet. Pretty simple. Here's a smart tip. Make your lead magnet valuable so your partner, or to your partner rather, so that the client gets better results from their service. Seth, you had a perfect example about this yesterday. We were talking about one of our partners who does listing optimization and PPC ads. And he said,
Yep.
Every single time that I refer out this partner who creates photos and product images, it makes our job much easier because we do better click through and better conversion, which makes our ads less expensive and makes us look like heroes. Seth?
Yeah, exactly. So if you can find a partner that your service makes their life easier, like in Sean's example, the photo company was actually adding value to the ads agency, because whenever a listing would have better photos, it would convert better, and then their ads would perform better, and then everything works better. So, like as an example, if you can make a new main image as a lead magnet for all of your partners' clients, now not only is the partner super happy, but then you have a consistent flow of sellers. Like we used to do this with Gatita, where a new client would join Post Purchase Pro, and automatically, day 1 or day 2 after onboarding, they would get an email from us saying, "Hey, if you haven't claimed all your reimbursements in Amazon, you should check out Gatita." So now we're automatically referring somebody during our onboarding process, and you can do the exact same thing with other service providers. It works really, really well.
I love it. All right. So when it comes to monetizing your partnerships using the masterclass strategy, here's how that works. What is it? You can host an online masterclass, essentially an expert panel or an online summit, whatever you want to call it, and have all the speakers co-promote the event. That means anyone who speaks has to promote it to their email list and on their social media. When you organize and host the event, you build authority and capture the entire list of registrations. Way over 100 new leads every time we do it. When do you start? When you have 5 or more partners, because you have to have that speaker lineup. All right. So how do you make it successful? Invite speakers that not only have great content, but also an audience that would benefit from your offer. For example, if you offer service or your offer serves private label sellers, it would make sense for someone with a retail arbitrage audience to participate, right? So make sure it's congruent. Write 3 emails for your partners using the strategy I'm going to share next. Also, the speakers in this case, all right, that's who you're going to write these for, and then send out to their audience inviting sellers to register for your Zoom masterclass. Do not rely on them to promote it at their own discretion. You have to orchestrate this, okay? You have to remind them, give them the swipes, tell them when to send, and give them the links, because procrastination will kill this deal every time. So stay on them. Have at least 4 guest speakers so you have a lot of content and the audience is larger, which gives the speakers what they want, traffic. Okay, what's next? Finally, you just like to hear me click, don't you, Seth? The hack session. What's a hack session? Some of you have promoted this with us. We do it about once a quarter. You can host an online hack session for Amazon sellers where 15 or more seller hacks are shared. All the partners that submit hacks will also promote the session to their audience. And the reason why people like the hack sessions, Amazon sellers, is because they're quick, hard hitting, highly valuable tricks and tips and tactics that can be explained in a few minutes that a seller can quickly implement and see a fast win. That's a hack. We all know of some, but calling it a hack may be new to you. What to expect? When you organize and host the event, you build authority and capture the entire list of registrations. In some cases, we've had over 9,000 registrations for a hack marathon or a hack call. Of course, anyone who promotes and sends more than X amount of leads gets the entire contact list of almost 10,000 Amazon sellers who are otherwise obscure that they'll never see or hear from because they're not involved in any groups that you're involved in, right? That's what makes this so valuable. So when you have 15 or more partners, that's when you want to do this. Here's how it works. Make submitting a hack easy with an easy to understand format. Like, what is it? Like 3 slides. What is it? What's the benefit? How do we do it? Not a long, drawn out presentation. These hacks should take less than 3 minutes to explain, and the seller should be able to implement this in less than 10 minutes. We did the most we've ever done was 48 hacks, I believe, in one session. It was amazing. And then we wrote a book about it, and that was even more amazing. So here's a smart tip. Have your partners come on live and share their hack in 5 minutes or less to keep the audience engaged. This compels the audience to stay around because they see multiple different personalities, different delivery methods, and it keeps the content dynamic instead of monotone like this one here. The hack session blueprint. 100 plus partners promoting you. Think about it. This is the hack session that we use to hack the game. We launched a quarterly series called Amazon Seller Hacks. Here's how it works. We invited dozens, sometimes over 100 of our partners in the Amazon service space, like some of the ones here. Each one submitted a hack that the audience would love. Seth and I took all of them, formatted the best ones into a killer slide deck, and guess what? We ran a 2 to 3 hour webinar where we gave away value like Oprah on Black Friday. No pitch, no BS, just pure gold. And here's the key. Every single partner promoted it to their list. That meant that dozens of email campaigns going out every day with our names and our event front and center. Yes, these lists overlap. So people were getting repetitive information, propping us up as gurus and hackmeisters. And it was coming from different angles and different people that they know, like, and trust. It was the biggest thing going on in the industry every time we've ever done it. We didn't just make new friends. What we did is we siphoned attention from every corner of the industry. And what did we give them? For the partners that got co-branding, tons of warm leads, the full list of thousands of opt-ins for anyone who sent traffic, plus our follow-up strategies that made them look like heroes to their audience. Everybody wins. Now you may say, well, I can't get thousands of people in a webinar. I have some friends that are in this room right now who have gone and done these virtual summits and master classes for a list of 6 or 7 new sellers. It doesn't matter. If the value's there, they'll show up and they'll support you. And of course, right after these events, we invited all the seller attendees to a second webinar, a webinar that converted all of the attention into sales calls. I'm going to show you that exact webinar outline in just a few minutes, so stick with me here. Do you see the brilliance in this? We turned every single partner into a lead machine, not because we asked for leads, but because we gave so much value and made it so easy to share us. So here's how your partnership should work from now on. You ready? Use the partner first prospecting strategy to get partners to send you traffic using the cross promotion strategy, the onboarding embed, the masterclass strategy, and the hack session strategy. Use all, or at least use one or some of these. They all work for us. How do you think we got a list of 91,000 Amazon sellers? The best part? All of these strategies position you as a pre-approved expert, because when your partner says, hey, you got to talk to Sean and Seth about this, that endorsement does the selling for you. So you don't have to spend money on ads, just the right offer to the right partners. Here's the idea. Stop chasing customers piecemeal one at a time, and instead start forming partnerships that attract them by the dozens. Once you unlock that mindset, my friend, you'll never look at client acquisition the same way again. Use partnership collaborations to directly create revenue. A lot of you in the space like to create partnerships. I hear about it all the time, but you're not doing anything with the partnership. It's like, hey, let's get together and work together sometime, and then nothing, crickets, zero. No appointments, no sales calls, and no cash. You're already doing this, right? You're meeting people, you're jumping on calls, you're doing Zooms like today. But the reality is that most of these partnerships don't end up producing anything. No new leads, no new clients, no revenue. Sad, isn't it? But let me tell you what most people get wrong about partnerships. Unfortunately, my friend, you confuse connection with conversion. You think because you swapped business cards in Cancun or started a WhatsApp group on the plane ride home that leads will just start magically showing up. Spoiler alert, they don't. They won't. You don't need more of, hey, let's collab sometime. You need a plan that prints money, because passive partnerships equal broke businesses, broke agencies. Most people in our industry, like you're playing what we call passive partnership bingo. Let's help each other out sometime. Okay. I'll send you a lead when I get a chance. All right. I'll hold my breath. We should totally do something together. And then nothing. Ghost town, crickets. We tried it that way in the early days too, but then we realized something. Even the best partnerships don't monetize themselves. You are responsible. You have to engineer the outcome. So here's the recap on how to monetize your partnerships. All right. The cross promotion. And remember, give first. You don't know how many times I've shared this and people go out and say, that doesn't work. Well, how did the conversation go? Well, I called Rob and said, hey, if you'll send out my shit, I'll send out your shit. Well, guess what? That's not what I told you to do, dum-dum. Get back to the to the back of the class there. All right. The onboarding embed. Become part of their embedding or their onboarding process. Okay. The masterclass strategy and the hack session. There's your recap. Now, how we engineered a referral storm with a beach house, and some of you were there. I think in this room, let's see, Rob was there. The other Rob was there. Drew was there. Here's the story. We called it Confluence Retreat. This is a power move, so pay attention. Another time we hosted an invite-only retreat we call the Confluence. We rented a 36-room beach house that sleeps 80 plus people. We catered in the meals, the live music, beach bonfires, networking all day, strategy all night. Didn't ask for a thing. Nothing. Just a give. We paid for it all, 100%. I'm not suggesting you do this, okay? This is a very expensive proposition. I just want to get your mind moving in the direction of, hey, how can I set myself apart, break the pattern, the status quo, and get attention on me and my partnerships? Throughout this event that we completely paid for, we'd meet our guests naturally one-on-one on the beach playing cornhole, and we'd say, hey, I got this incredible webinar coming up next month. Would you mind sending a couple of emails to your list? Guess what they said? Of course I will. Why? Because we made those social deposits before ever asking for a withdrawal. And then we ran our next webinar and watched their list flood into our funnel. We pitched, they got paid, we all win. That is engineered monetization. But here's the golden rule of engineered monetization, okay? The mistake most of you make, you assume value is enough. It's not. You assume people will remember. They don't. And unfortunately, you assume referrals will just happen. But without structure, without follow up, without a very good reason to promote you, nothing will move. Nothing. You already know this because you experience it every day. You're not asking for leads, you're building a referral engine. And the big secret, it's not about partnerships, it's about leverage. You're not looking for support. You're creating a system of win-win monetization. You're making the partner look good. You make it stupid easy to say yes to you, and then you build the monetization into the experience just like we do. So what's the takeaway? Don't just make partners. Design partnerships that directly drive revenue. That means creating offers that benefit your partner's clients, giving them tools to make you look good, and making yourself super simple to refer. If they have to think too hard about how to work for you, guess what? They won't. It's that simple. So make it easy. But if you do it right, they're going to send you leads every single week because referring you makes them look like a hero. We follow a very simple checklist for every partner play. You want a copy of it? I'm going to show you where to grab that copy in just a bit. This is how we turn dozens of casual contacts into a lead generation machine on autopilot. Let me tell you a secret most of you will never figure out, unfortunately. Because here's what you do. You show up at events. I know this because that's where I met a lot of you. You rent booths. You wear badges, banners, all hoping to land a handful of clients. You drop 15,000 or more on a booth and another 5,000 on hotel and airfare. And then you spend 3 solid days trying to convince 12 strangers to give you a shot. Meanwhile, we walk in with no booth, no banners, and walk out with hundreds of clients without ever speaking to any of them directly. How do we do it? By prospecting for partnerships, not for clients. And we lead with something so valuable, they simply cannot say no. So you're probably thinking, that sounds great, but I don't have a big name or an audience. Why would anyone partner with me? And I get it, I do. But here's the truth. You don't need a huge audience. You just need a valuable offer. We built partnerships with people way bigger than us because we lead with something they can't get anywhere else, and we make it easy to work with us. We do all the heavy lifting. We make them look good to their audience. You don't need to be famous. You only need to be useful. Give people a reason to say yes, my friend, and they will. It isn't about clout, it's about value. And when you lead with value, doors open very quickly. That's how we build these businesses so fast. Seth, I'm about ready to jump into strategy number 3. We're writing emails that print money. But before I break into breakthrough number 3, I want to make sure there are no questions out here and give myself just a little water.
Nope. All good on questions. The only thing was Alex is having trouble opening that up from Canada, but everybody else had an okay time on that GPT lead magnet generator. If anybody that's outside the country couldn't open it, I'd love to know, just because I was trying to figure that out. That's a weird
Maybe it's part of the
situation.
tariff trade war. Alex, you got to pay a little something to Uncle Trump to get that thing to open.
Oh, man. All right. I think we're good other than that.
I was hoping you wouldn't say that. All right. Here we go. Y'all ready? Breakthrough number 3, write emails that print money. This is my favorite thing to talk about, is writing emails, because it's something that we do naturally every day, and we love it because it makes the cash register go cha-ching. So let me ask you something that'll either make you nod your head or you may squirm a little. When's the last time one of your emails made you real money? I mean, money in the bank, or filled your schedule? Now, I'm talking about vanity opens from your friends, not polite replies. I'm talking about clicks, conversions, and cash. If your email has been quieter than a Sunday morning sermon, or if you're constantly testing subject lines and tweaking cadence while still getting ghosted like an ex with a new phone, this breakthrough is for you. We used to treat emails like reminders, soft little nudges. Hey, just checking in, Thought you might be interested. Wrong. Stop doing that. It's madness. We were writing like we wanted to be ignored, and we were until we flipped the switch. We stopped thinking of email as a as a communication tool, and we started treating it like that sounded like a Joe Biden glitch, didn't it? Hey, I'm right behind him, buddy. I'm gonna be 50 in 2 weeks. All right, we stopped treating it like a communication. I still can't say it. A tool, and we started treating email like a revenue engine. So here's the secret no one tells you. Every single time you send an email, you're either building momentum or you're burning your time. So we changed the game and made our emails short. We made them punchy, curious, and each one includes a strong call to action. We lean on psychological triggers, scarcity, urgency, desire, and risk removal, and we tell stories, real stories, weird stories, even dumb stories, like the time I converted an entire room in 60 seconds using just a QR code and that product insert. We bake emotion or curiosity into every word, and then we layered in GPT, my favorite 3 letters now. Seth kept telling me to try it. Now that I tried it, I'm addicted. I never Google anymore. I just open up GPT. From Bible verses to pickup lines, it's like, hey, GPT, what's the best way to do this? But not just any pickup lines on my wife, that is. Don't get too carried away. All right. So, not just any GPT. Seth and I had trained our own GPT model on our top 100 plus highest converting emails. It learned our tone, our hooks, our call to actions, even the sarcasm. And now we just open that chat, type in a topic, and boom, a killer email drops out like a vending machine for conversions, just like it fell out of my head naturally. Click throughs go through the roof, replies pour in, calendars fill up, and my stripe says cha-ching. We literally have insanely smart marketing clients begging us for access to our GPT setup. And yes, I'm going to show you how you can get it too. Because once you have an inbox that prints cash, everything else gets easier. No more chasing, no more awkward follow ups, just stories, curiosity, and a link, and they click it. They give you money or they book an appointment for your pitch. You may be thinking, but my list is too small. Perfect. You want to learn this now before you waste it because a small list is a test lab. You can see what works, what hits, what sells. Better to test your email muscle on 50 people, right? Than to blow 5,000 leads with a boring message. We started with a tiny little list too, 140 some people. We grew it by sending emails that actually deserve to be read. And when they forwarded them to their friends, the list grew fast. You don't need a big list, you need a responsive list. So, secret one, always sell the click. Pay attention here. Here's the key idea. Most of you agencies, you try to sell the offer inside the email. Big mistake. Your only job for the email, sell one thing, the click. All right. I always tell people like this. Imagine if you put an advertisement in the old fashioned newspaper. Now it's called Facebook Marketplace. Say you want to sell an old car. So you put an ad out there that says 1965 Mustang convertible, runs great, needs a little TLC, $15,000, and you put your phone number. What's the idea of that advertisement? Some say, well, it's to sell the car. No, it's not. No one's going to call you up and say, hey, where do I send the money? They're going to call to get more information. So the ad's job is not to sell the car, it's to sell the call. It's your phone call when you talk to the prospect. That's your prospect. It's your job on the call to sell the appointment to come drive the car. And when they're in person, face to face, it's your job to sell the car. It's a step by step process. Well, email's the same way. You can't sell your services in an email unless you built some momentum and some rapport with the customer. So the only thing your email should do is to sell the click, because anything else is going to confuse them. Does that make sense, guys? Just tell me yes or no. I want to make sure everybody's still alive here. Okay, Nicholas says yes. Okay, Kelly, yep. Okay, you guys are with me here. I want a couple more yeses. Wake up. Let's see who we got. This stuff's about ready to get crazy. No? No more? Okay, Drew, thank you. All right, sell the click. Treat your subject line like a movie trailer and the body like a cliffhanger in a Netflix episode. Don't teach everything, all right? Just enough to create craving. Make them say, I have to see what's on the other side of that link. For example, here's how we closed 92,000 in client retainers from a newsletter nobody opened last year. Okay. Here's secret number 2, curiosity over content. All right. Facts tell, but curiosity sells. So don't be a newsletter, be a Netflix series. Use cliffhangers, use loops and stories, leave blanks in the reader's mind. Pique curiosity and then make clicking the only way to scratch that itch. Here's a few prompts that work. Here's what nobody tells you about. We almost didn't share this, but it made us $10,000 before lunch and it still works. That's curiosity, right? Number 3, write like you talk. Send like a friend. People don't open emails from brands, they open email messages from people that they like. So write emails like text messages to a friend. Short sentences, conversational tone, just like you were talking. Break the rules on purpose because it sounds human. Here's a bonus tactic. Send ugly emails like text only, no design, just you, a quick story, and one clear CTA. Sometimes I even like to leave a lowercase I when I refer to myself because it looks human. Small list, even better. Test on a tiny list before you waste on a big one. Every great copywriter starts with feedback loops. So small list equals fast insights. Watch your open and click rates like a hawk. Double down on what gets replies. A responsive list beats a large list every time. If I had a 91,000 person email list and only 0 open rates and no clicks, who cares? I'd rather have 1,000 person email list with a 50% open rate and 25% click through rate because it makes money. Who cares how big the list is if it doesn't make money? Here's a mistake that I've seen most of you make. You email just to email, or you have a newsletter that's just so so. If this is you, you probably notice that your results aren't great. You're actually training your audience not to open. You're making you and your company appear less valuable, and you're hurting your chances of closing future deals. Have you ever met someone that just talks on and on and on, rambling, never saying anything that's valuable or exciting? That's your newsletter. Sorry to tell you. But remember, just because you sent an email or a newsletter doesn't mean it was read. Here's what you can do instead: convert your newsletter into educational emails and direct response emails. What's the difference? Most newsletters are generic topics, random information, not much value. Educational emails are specific topics, highly useful, and they position you as an expert. Direct response emails uses psychological principles of value, urgency, scarcity. They show the reader why they should want to do business with us now, and the results are much, much different. For the Amazon service businesses that we've helped, switching from a newsletter to an alternating cadence of educational and direct response emails creates much better results. Here's the typical results: a newsletter, almost 0 sales calls booked. You already know because you're trying it. Educational and direct response, dozens of sales calls booked every single month. All right, Seth, I'm about ready to jump into breakthrough number 4, and I'm getting stressed out because I'm losing my enthusiasm in the room here. So, do you got any questions on number 3? I'm losing my voice too.
No questions, but I don't know about that. Nicholas is with us, Aaron, Kelly, Drew, Rob, all super active. So
All right, well, I'm getting hoarse here. It's been a long time since I've done a webinar, buddy.
I think you're doing good.
I need to exercise the voice. Red leather, yellow leather, right? Excuse me.
Drew just patted you on the back and gave you a breather. He says, great material as always.
Hey, thanks, Drew. All right, breakthrough number 4. So repackage your content to create webinars that convert eyeballs into sales calls.
And Sean, I just wanted to point out Jessica's with us too. She's driving and listening, so she's not super active, but she's definitely paying attention. So
Jessica Steele, thank you.
yes.
All right, let me go back because that was a pretty good line you came up with. Convert eyeballs into sales calls. So turn your existing content into a sales call machine. Let me ask you, have you ever made a piece of content so good that someone booked a call with you just to talk about it? If your answer is not yet, you're not alone. Most service providers are stuck on the content hamster wheel. You're posting value, going live, adding tips and tricks, and getting nothing but crickets and compliments. You know the type, right? Hey, I love that post, man, or so insightful, you're crushing it. but zero sales. That's the bummer. Here's the truth. Good content gets likes, but great content gets leads. We don't post for praise, we post for conversion. We don't speak for applause, we speak to attract clients, and we don't host webinars for followers. We do webinars for sales. Because what you don't realize is this: you're already sitting on a gold mine of unconverted content. It's not about creating more, it's about repackaging what already works into a format that turns eyeballs into bookings. In the best format, the webinar. Not a cheesy sales webinar, not a 15-minute pitch fest, a real deal, content first. Holy crap, this is a good session. Well, kind of like the webinar you're on now, where people show up curious and they leave ready to buy or book a call in our case. We used to overthink it, right? With slides and scripts and setups. You notice I don't have a lot of graphics and animations and fancy stuff. Cameras, it's all too complicated, too corporate, too boring. Now we open Zoom, we teach something useful for 30 to 40 minutes, and then 10 to 15 minutes to take them through a strong call to action. And then we walk away with a call calendar full of prospects begging to talk to us. I'm going to share the exact outline we use to transform your content to a webinar that crushes. And in this process, you'll take your existing content and the one-on-one conversations you're already having and turn that into a sales call machine. Seth, walk us through your killer webinar outline that converts and tell us how they can download the PDF.
Caught me in the middle of chewing a snack here, Sean.
Hey, throw some my way.
All right. So guys,
Goldfish?
well, this was Cheez-Its. The
Same thing.
So what we figured out after years and years of testing is there's a specific way that content is structured that either ends it up, with no result, like Sean said, or ends up creating a calendar full of sales calls. And this is the format that we've used. And we're like, well, maybe that was a fluke. Maybe we're just kind of over the top. And that's why people find this format useful. Well, it turns out no. With all of our Insanely Smart Marketing clients, which all are Amazon service providers just like you, we follow the exact same format and they're all filling up their calendars. And so we know this works. So essentially, you have to follow this, well-worn path. You have to have a great intro, great content. You have to transition to the offer, and you have to have a great offer. And we're going to get into each one of these. But if you just want to take a quick screenshot, I'm going to share this PDF with you of this so you can follow along. But imagine this. In the intro today, we had an exciting statement about what you're going to learn today. Sean said, why should you stay until the end? He gave you the teaser of, hey, the most important thing that you're going to learn today is at the very end. So what does that do? That creates curiosity and drags people and holds their attention. Number 3, remind you of why you should listen. You got to do this because every single time you step on stage, in this case, a webinar stage, people are wondering, why am I listening to this guy again? So Sean told you, why should you listen to me? Well, we built a 91,000 person email seller list. We created millions in recurring revenue. We've closed over 2,500 high ticket deals, right? So you're telling the audience, well, why do I have credibility? So this intro is so important. And then what we want to do is at the end of our intro, we want to get the audience to imagine themselves in the future with the promised benefit of today's call. And then, so the intro is going to be something new to you, most likely. The content section is going to be repackaging of content that you already have, because I've seen a lot of your guys' content. What you actually teach is great. You just have to structure it like an epiphany. An epiphany is like a breakthrough, like when you teach something that the audience hadn't thought about, or they can feel smarter than when they or their peers, right? So I'm going to show you a very specific way to do that. It's called an epiphany bridge. I'm going to show you the format and how you can actually do that. After you teach them something, that can be, in our case, we were teaching you 4 things. You can teach 1 thing or 3 things or however many you have, but it has to be really good because we have to get to this point where we transition to the offer. And so we're going to show you how you go from content to transitioning to the most important part of a webinar, which is the offer section. But if you don't transition, it feels kind of clunky. It's like, oh, like you're just teaching me and now you're making me an offer. This is kind of weird. So there's a very specific way that you can get permission to transition to an offer and it's all in the vein of giving value. And then lastly, depending on what you guys do for your offer, either you're selling live or you're booking a sales call, you're going to position that a little differently. So all of our clients sell on sales calls. We've sold on sales calls and we've sold on the webinar live. The template will guide you. So Sean, if you want to kind of go through here, you can talk about like each one of these examples, or if you want me to, I can.
That's
But
fine.
essentially, as you go
So
through this template, it'll walk you through step by step, and you can just fill in the blanks. It'll make it really easy for you to build a great webinar. Go ahead.
I'll just touch at high level, and then you guys can study this on your own. But like Seth said, you want an exciting statement of what they're going to learn, why you should stay to the end, remind them why they should listen to you. Like you
Well,
have to
Sean,
position yourself as an expert.
let me stop you for 1 second. As you go through here, when you're looking at the template, you can see under what Sean's reading, like there's an example of how you might word it. So, like as an example, in the intro here, on the fourth step of the
Why
intro.
don't you just present it, buddy? I'll flip it for you.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to point out, like, it makes it so easy when you have wording that has been proven to work. So, the example in this case would be, how would your life be different in 90 days if your profits doubled, or would you have less stress? Like, it just makes it easy when you can follow a template. That's all
But
I
you
wanted to
just
point out. Go ahead.
position this as your particular agency. Maybe it's how your life would be different if your ad spend was 50%, and your conversions were up 30%. Or how would your life be different if you had new products to launch every month consistently, or whatever? Fill in the blanks. Like, what can you deliver them? And then when you get into the content section, like we were doing breakthrough 1, 2, 3, and 4 for you, you can call it an epiphany. You can call it a secret. You can call it anything, but do at least 3, because some of these breakthroughs will resonate with some folks while they won't resonate with others. So when you jump into that breakthrough, that secret, that epiphany, that big reveal, here's how you set the stage. Your backstory that explains where you were before you made the discovery. Like, hey, I didn't used to know how to do partnerships because I used to chase clients one by one. What were you trying to accomplish and why? I was trying to build my agency. This is just example. What was the problem you were facing that prevented you from achieving the results? Like, I was only getting 1 or 2 clients a week and I wasn't getting any referrals. What did you discover that made it possible? I decided that giving a lot of value and creating partnerships versus creating one-on-one transactions was what was feeding our sales machine. Well, what was your plan you created to achieve that result? I attacked a trade show with a valuable offer to sign up partners versus clients. Well, what conflict did you encounter along the way? This is like your backstory, your epiphany bridge story, like Seth would say. So you explain exactly what you were experiencing, how you overcome that, and how you and what let's see. Ideally, this would be what you're solving with your offer. Exactly. So what did you achieve at the end? At the end, I realized that I was able to onboard over 1,000 monthly paying clients, not by going after the clients, but by going after the partners. And I did that using email. So what was the transformation you experienced? I experienced like getting clients wholesale versus getting clients piecemeal. And that's kind of an example. And that's Epiphany 1 was, how to create partnerships, right? And Epiphany 2, how to create content that converts. And number 3 was how to write good emails or whatever. This is going to be specific to your industry. And this framework will give you the exact step by step, just like answering those questions into the GPT. But here's the fun part, the transition to the offer. You can't just go from telling to selling without getting permission. So you have to get permission to transition to the offer. So here's an example. We just gone through a lot of stuff in the last 45 minutes, but it'd be impossible to cover everything in such a short amount of time, as you can probably imagine. You could take everything I've just shown you here today and get solid results if you're willing to put in the work. But if you'd like help getting there faster, this is exactly what we do every day for people just like you. If you want to accomplish X and avoid Y, then you need to do A or Z, X, Y, Z. There you go. All right. And once you get an agreement, okay, then you can move into the offer. If I was able to show you a proven way to double your profit, a proven way to decrease your ad spend, a proven way to fill in the blank for your agency, right? And then would you allow me to share it with you? And once they say yes, then you jump into the offer. And a lot of people screw this up because it comes off underhanded, like, oh, I didn't know I was showing up for a pitch. I thought this was all give. It's like, you can't watch a television program without seeing an advertisement, because that's how the TV station pays their bills, right? They can't just do it all for free. Same as a magazine. If you're reading a magazine, you see ads. I know they're annoying, but that's how they pay the bills. So the offer is this: information alone will never be enough to achieve anything in life without action and the right tools and resources. That's why today I'm going to show you, or I'm going to give you rather, everything you need to succeed and hit your goals. That's why I've created this for you. We will do X, insert your offer for you. All right. And then this is the very, very, very important part. If someone is going to make a decision to spend money with you, they have two choices. Well, they have three choices. They can A, join you, B, do nothing, or C, think about it. If they think about it, that's going to kill your conversion. So what we like to use is we call it a bonus value stack, where we create enough bonuses. If they were to say yes today, these bonuses that they're going to receive are so much more valuable, and the perception of the value far exceeds 10 or 20 times of the actual core offer, that it's a no-brainer. If they're even on the fence at all, they say, yes, I want to take this offer because look, the bonuses are worth 10 times more than what he's selling. Let's say, for example, this is a dramatic example, but if I was trying to sell you new tires for your car and I said, look, the new tires for your car comes with a new car and free oil changes for 10 years and da 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 da, fill in the blanks. You're like, wait a second, the tires are $200, but a new car is $20,000. That's a no-brainer. Sometimes we'll make an offer of $1,000, but we have a value stack of $10,000 worth of bonuses that they get. Sometimes these bonuses even come from our partners. Like we were talking about Gatita earlier, which is the reimbursement company. We would make an offer for $597 on a webinar, but the very first bonus was $2,000 in reimbursements from Gatita. So wait, I give you $600, you give me back $2,000. That's a good trade, but it doesn't stop there. We have 7 other bonuses that value up to $18,000 for that $600 offer. And this template that Seth created for you and is sharing with you will walk you through the entire process of how to create that bonus stack. And then you basically say, hey, you have 2 options. All right. You can choose to do nothing with what you learned today. And what will you get? More nothing. That's not the best choice because success always lies on the other side of action. But the second option is the exciting choice. Choose to take action today because that's the decision that can produce growth, change, and the results you really want. So it makes it simple. And then we like to reduce to the ridiculous. We'll say, look, this offer is $500. But if you only got half of what I promised you today, I'm showing you how to save $10,000 per month or earn an extra $10,000 per month. But if I'm only half right, and you only got an extra $5,000 per month, wouldn't this $500 investment be worth it? And that makes it kind of ridiculous, right? And then the bad news is we can't do this for everyone. This is how you put in the scarcity. All right. It's not available for everyone. It's a very limited group, blah, blah, blah. All right. And then let us help you. If you want my help, join now. I'm willing to help you, but only if you take action. And then here's your authority content outline. So if you want to build authority, you have to create like a scenario where people say, where have you been? What have you done? How did you get your knowledge? What mistakes did you make that I can avoid? And how much is that worth? I've spent $2.5 million on paid ads on Amazon in the last 18 months, and this is what I've learned. Now my ads are getting me a 4.2 to 1 return. Let me show you how I did it. See, that's valuable. So Seth, how do we get the PDF for this? Because if you want the PDF for this, it's all yours.
Yep. Just drop your email into the chat box and I'll email it to you. So anybody who would find any value in having our webinar outline that Sean just went through, and you can just literally go through step by step and then just shoot your email into the chat and I'll send it to you. Go ahead, Sean.
All right. Looks like the chat box is blowing up here. All right. Now, after you got this one piece of incredible content nailed, you know that it turns eyeballs into sales calls. Then you can use this over and over again on different audiences. Remember earlier when we showed you the masterclass strategy? Now you have the content that you'll use when you present that strategy. When you get invited on a panel or a podcast, use the exact same framework, topic, and structure. Don't feel like you have to create something new because these pop bands don't do that, right? What you're doing is literally taking your content on tour. You don't have to write new songs every stop you make, right? Just play the same music that you know people like. The doors open when you do this. Now watch this, all right? Seth and I have covered a lot in a short time today, friends. And we are friends here. That's why this is very, I don't know, I want to call it casual conversation, not a more of a professional, uptight presentation. but there's way more that we could teach you. And if you're anything like me, you want to move fast. And if you'd like our help implementing these strategies inside your business, then just give me 6 more minutes and I'm going to show you how we can work together in the very near future. Here's what happened after we started Insanely Smart Marketing, which is something that you can't join because it's full right now. ISM is just Insanely Smart Marketing. As Seth and I started sharing our strategies like we did today, and we started speaking more publicly, the requests started pouring in. But the problem we see, you all want help. You all need help. Agencies, consultants, software founders. You see the growth that we produce and you want it too. And why shouldn't you? We're honored. But there's a pattern we cannot ignore. Most of you are missing the basics. You don't have an email list. You have no clear offer, no referral partners, no real systems, no clear understanding of your funnel, and so on. Does this sound familiar? You're great technicians, but you're terrible marketers. You're amazing at fulfillment, but you're clueless about client acquisition. You know how to do the work, but no, you don't know how to sell the work or to scale it without burning out. And here's the real kicker. Even the best ones, you know who you are. You're spending way too much money just to maybe get a client. So here's the request that changed everything. 2 of our agency colleagues, a couple of really smart guys, came to us a little while ago and they made us an offer. They said, hey, we'll pay you both $10,000 each to fly out. We'll cover your hotel. Just come teach us what you do for a full day. Well, it's flattering to get offered $10,000 for a full day of consulting, but honestly, it felt good to be asked, but I had to say no. Why? Because that means flying across the country, leaving our families, and pressing pause on our other businesses. And for what? To help just 2 people? Sounds like a crazy waste of time, doesn't it? Because Seth and I have made our money doing this stuff, not from teaching this stuff. Yes, I love to help others, but that format doesn't make sense. Does it make sense to you? Spend a full day only helping 2 people? That's when the light bulb went off and we had that aha moment. What if, Seth, what if we host a Zoom call and share this stuff to everyone? What if we then invite you for a more in depth follow up, but do it live and in person like these 2 gentlemen want us to? What if we did it, the in person session, for not only these 2 guys, but on our own terms? And we host it here in Indianapolis, Indiana, close to our families, close to our offices, no distractions. What if, my friend, we invited a few more businesses and agencies just like you and taught it all at once to a full room of people ready and willing to grow? We wouldn't have to charge $10,000 that they're offering because the cost would be shared over a larger group. Sounds more doable now, doesn't it? Sounds more interesting and a lot more effective. Now we're talking. What if we handed over our actual playbooks live in the room? No fluff, no pitch, no filler. And what if you could actually implement in real time and go home with a much better business? This business could finally grow like you've been wanting it to. That's when the Agency Accelerator was born. Why do we need to do it live? Because honestly, if we did it on a webinar, even if we don't record it, someone can record it and then they share all of our secrets with the world. But if we control the environment, stay close to home, we can be hyperactive, we can help you with your business, we get more done, and then you're not sharing our trade secrets on YouTube or Facebook. That's the truth. What is Agency Accelerator? Seth and I have decided in the very near future, the last week of July, 25th, 26th, and 27th, we're hosting a 3-day in-person event right here in Indianapolis, Indiana, home with not only the Pacers, but also the Indy 500. Here's an agenda. Day 1 and 2, you're going to learn and transplant all of our marketing strategies and systems into your business, mainly the stuff that makes sense for you. The same strategies and systems that allowed us to close over 2,500 high-ticket Amazon seller client deals. Okay? That's crazy, right? Day 3, you're going to get your specific challenges solved and set your business up to scale, specifically and exclusively for Amazon service providers like you, like me, companies selling to Amazon sellers only. It's not theory. All right? It's not just networking. It's implementation. It's accountability. It's acceleration. We're building your funnels, crafting your offers, creating your lead magnets, crafting your referral outreach, dialing in your positioning, setting your business up for growth right there in the room live. This is stuff we actually love to do. Imagine you can transplant Seth and I's brain into your business for 3 days, like a CMO, take over and show you how we've built amazing agencies and exited for 7x. Supercharge your email prospect list growth. Turn your existing content into a webinar. Our custom built GPT that will create your webinar for you. We can write highly compelling emails that produce revenue. Our custom built GPT that will craft your emails for you. Our partnership database of over 400 highly effective Amazon service provider partners, and our 2,000 plus possible partners target list that you can use for outreach. Talk about a compiled list. Our funnel process that generates the maximum amount of revenue, offer framework to turn your community or your commodity offer into a high margin offer. You can get affiliates to consistently promote your service, and our entire tech stack that makes marketing scalable, including all of our internal personal built AI tools. And just to let you know, we're only doing it one time. It's not a tour. It's not a recurring event. We're not doing it quarterly, and we're not recording it. This is it. And by special request from 2 of our colleagues, and I'll tell you who you can thank later because they'll be there in the room. 1 weekend, 1 room, a handful of the smartest, hungriest agency owners in the space, like you. Now, if you're ready to grow at lightning speed, and if you're a good fit, then you're invited. Here's the deal. You have to book a call. We want to make sure it's a win for both of us, and we need to do that. So if you go to acceleratorevent.com, you can book a call. It's a very limited call schedule. I literally have a full schedule of physical therapy here in front of me that we have to work around. I'm traveling for my birthday next week to Iceland. So we only have so many call slots. So if you're serious about this, it doesn't cost you anything to book the call. Go to acceleratorevent.com and let us know you want to talk about it. I have 6 hacks coming up that I'm going to share with you. These are agency hacks, so don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to share 6 hacks. I literally have 200 more slides to share with you. So unless your afternoon is booked, don't go anywhere because you're going to love what I'm going to share. This isn't going to cost $10,000 like these guys offered, like I said, but it's not going to be cheap. All right. Cheap ain't good and good ain't cheap ever. But you're getting a shortcut to 2 decades of learning, failures, contacts, and resources all in 3 days. If you're selling on Amazon or you're selling to Amazon sellers, every time I say that, I say it the same way. If you are like us and you're selling directly to Amazon sellers, any type of service or product, this is something that you should not skip because there has never been and will never be another opportunity like this. Book your call with Seth and I now at acceleratorevent.com. And we're going to see how much this could help you hit your goals. No pressure on the call. There's no pitch, just a simple, friendly conversation. If it's right, we'll lock in your spot and we'll spend 3 days turning your business into something scalable, marketable, and magnetic, something you can finally be proud of. A real business that will make your competitors scratch their heads wondering, how in the hell did he do that? Are you in? I hope so. Why would I pay to attend when you just gave me so much value? Well, if I already got this much gold for free, why would I want to pay to see you live? Well, the answer is simple, because watching from the sidelines is different than building it with us in real time. Wouldn't you agree that playing in the game is way better than watching from the bench? You'll leave with assets actually implemented, emails written, webinars created, funnels built, challenges solved, campaigns launched, and partnerships activated. acceleratorevent.com. You don't need more information, my friend. You need execution. And that's what happens at Agency Accelerator. Now, of course, you got 2 choices. You can take this info, go back to your office and try to piece it together. But how's that worked for you in the past? Or you can let us hand you the blueprint, help you build it right live in that room. And honestly, even if you only got 1 solid client magnet or closed 1 more deal a month, wouldn't this accelerator be worth it? I know what you're thinking. Look, we know that there's no shortage of courses and events and info out there on YouTube, but here's the difference. This isn't something you learn. This is something you build with us in real time. You're not leaving with a notebook full of ideas. You might think, I'm not ready, or my business is early stage, but that's exactly why you need this. You can't afford to keep wasting months testing what we've already figured out. This is the accelerator that compresses your next 24 or more months into just 3 days. You're going to walk away with your first or your next high converting lead magnet built and ready to deploy. A list building system tailored for your agency. Partnership scripts that print money. Your own 3-slide webinar mini funnel to turn attention into booked calls. Seth's specialty. Full access to tools, templates, and swipe files that build us more than a few 7-figure agencies and more. Are you ready? Let's do this. Book your call with Seth and me now at www.acceleratorevent.com. There's no strings attached. You don't have to pay to book the call. It's a very limited amount of spots, but I'm going to jump into some hacks here in a second. But I want to answer some questions. And I have 6, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 5, 6 cool agency hacks that you won't see anywhere else. Seth, what do you have for questions, buddy?
Yeah, Jessica was asking the dates again. So it's July 25th, 26th, and 27th. Aaron was having a hard time with that link that you had made, Sean. But guys, I posted the direct Calendly link. If you want to book a call with us, we're available this week just to chat and see if it makes sense for your business, where you're at, what we're going to be teaching. Now, obviously, this isn't going to be about operations. This is going to be about getting more clients into your business. If you want more clients, if you want help marketing, if you want help closing deals, like this is for you. Aaron says, where's it at? Yep. So Sean shared that briefly, but it's going to be in Indianapolis. Here, pretty easy to get to, whether you're on West Coast or East Coast, should be able to get in pretty easily. So what we're doing is we're taking a call with everyone. We don't want anybody in the room that's not going to benefit. So Sean and I personally are going to meet with you, see where you're at in your business, see where, this may plug in and say, this is a perfect fit. Here's what we think might happen. But there's hardly any scenario, if you're selling to Amazon sellers, that getting more clients every month is not going to be useful. So if that's what your goal is, I don't think that you can go wrong. So I would say grab your call, acceleratorevent.com, or in the chat box, you should find that Calendly link that I just dropped in there. Go ahead, Sean.
I just checked the link. It works good for me. Maybe it's another Canadian thing. All right. No questions. So acceleratorevent.com, or follow the Calendly link in the chat box. It's simple. You're going to book a call. We're going to talk about it for a few minutes, see if you're a good fit. And if you are, we'll give you an invitation personally to join us in Indianapolis. It's going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, July 25th, 26th, and 27th. And we're going to go through this for 3 days. All right, let me give you one of these hacks. All right, you're going to love this. Here's hack number 1. Let me tell you something wild. A guy came up to me after one of my talks and says, Sean, I've spent thousands on email tools and nothing gets delivered. What do you use? And I said, want me to blow your mind? I pulled out my phone. I took 10 seconds and showed him one tiny email trick. He ran with it, and now every single email he sends gets delivered for 1 penny. No joke. 100% inboxing every single time. That's a huge breakthrough, because most of the time we send emails, they don't get opened, they don't get read. But the challenging thing is just to get to the inbox and avoid a spam folder. So 1 penny per inbox message, and he never saw a spam folder again. I'm going to be sharing that with you, the exact way to do it at the event, which is going to be July 25th, 26th, 27th. It's going to take me the same 10 seconds to tell you, and you're going to have an edge on every other person that doesn't know my secret. Hack number 2, someone asked me the other day, Sean, do you write those insane emails that get open, get read, and get clicks? How do you do it? I laughed and said, I don't. GPT does, but not just any GPT, because Seth and I trained a private version on our top 100 best converting emails. Every call to action, subject line, curiosity hook, sales psychology trick we've ever used. We fed it all in, and now I open that chat, type in a topic, and bam, out comes a high converting email in my exact voice in seconds, saving hundreds of hours every single year. It's spooky, it's addictive, and it works. Our emails hit inboxes, people open, people reply, people buy. And here's the kicker. I can hand you that exact GPT chat with one link. No setup, no code, just click and go, free of charge. It's like getting our email marketing brains on demand. Who wants the link? I know you do. I'm going to give it to you at Agency Accelerator. So go to acceleratorevent.com, book a call. Let's talk about it. I'll tell you what, even if you're not a good fit, and I'll still give you some of this hack stuff, just don't want to put it out there in the public. All right. So if you join us in Indianapolis, here's what you walk away with. Seth, what do we walk away with? Help a brother out.
Hey, sorry, Sean, I'm in the chat box here.
It's all right.
Let's see here. Kelly says going to check out the event. Yep, Kelly, just book a call. We'll chat about it. Aaron, I know I just saw your message. Definitely still book a call. I want to tell you some details about it that makes it even more exciting than what even Sean shared. So book a call with us, Aaron. All right. So what you're going to walk away with, Sean, you already said it. There's a lot more on the list, actually. So, guys, not only are you going to get everything that Sean just talked about, but we're actually going to go through like every single thing. Like, you can go to YouTube all day and look up, like, how do I grow my agency? But, like, we actually have been testing this since 2015, and we've seen like what works, what doesn't, and we're only going to give you what works. You can skip all the headache of testing things, and we're just going to go through it. And the things that are most important are the things that we're going to spend the most time on, and you're actually going to implement it in real time. Like, how do you build your audience, and how do you build your email prospect list? Because that's where all of the revenue comes from. How do you convert, or how do you convert those people into webinar attendees? And then how do you take a webinar attendee and how do you convert it into a sales call? And then how do you take a sales call and convert it into closed deals? Remember, we've closed 2,500 high ticket deals. How do you get
Froze
tons
up on
of
me.
exposure for free? How do you write highly compelling emails? And then we're just going to give you our GPT that can write them for you because it's been trained after we wrote hundreds and hundreds of emails. How do you generate referrals? We have a funnel that when somebody signs up for a webinar, it gives them a bonus package for free to refer a friend. And that increases our registrations by about 30% on average. We're going to give you that. You're going to set up your own webinar funnel. We're going to set it up with you. We're going to introduce you to 400 of our partners. You're going to walk away with partners for your business live. You're going to figure out how, and we're going to brainstorm it with you live. How do we actually structure your offer so it converts better? How do we actually structure it so no one would say, "Oh, that doesn't make sense for me. I don't need that." So we're going to show you tons of things that aren't even on that page. So Sean, I'm pretty excited about it, man.
Yeah, you should be because one thing to keep in mind, this is not one size fits all. This is customization for your particular business. When Seth and I sit down and consult with an agency in ISM, Insanely Smart Marketing, we take into consideration what are your deliverables? What are your skill sets? What is your comfort level? What is your budget? Who are the partners you already have? How many are there? What do they offer? How big is your email list? What do you want to expand to? Where's the biggest opportunity for growth in your company? What are your long term strategy? Is this a lifestyle business? Do you want to sell the business? And then we create a strategy specific for that business. So, are you ready? Let's do it. Go to acceleratorevent.com if you haven't already and book your call with Seth and myself. I want to show you a few more hacks. Number 3, this is the Prosper offer that broke the show. Let me tell you about the time Seth and I hijacked the biggest Amazon seller conference in the world, Prosper, without spending a dime. We were at Prosper in Las Vegas, didn't have a booth, didn't want one, didn't have the time, didn't care. While other vendors were dropping 15 to 50,000 for floor space, we flipped the script. We created what we now call a mafia offer and wrote a book around it actually. One of those offers that's so good, so valuable, so tilted in their favor, it would have been stupid to say no. We walked around the vendor floor, no banners, no booth, just belief. And within hours, the booth owners were coming to us, begging to swap leads, asking to do email drops, wanting to know how to send traffic our way. All of them, the big dogs, the ones with the giant light up signs and the half dressed Vegas models, they were circling us asking, how do we partner? And here's the kicker, the offer that we made, it cost us nothing, zero, not a penny. And what we delivered through that partnership was at least 50 times more valuable than what any of them got from their booth traffic. I'm talking partnerships on steroids, my friend. We now have over 400 partners in the space, and they send us warm leads like it's their job. Why? Because we know exactly what to offer and how to position it so they see they're winning bigger than we are. You want to know what that offer was? Well, you know where you're going to find it. I'm going to unveil exactly how it worked at Agency Accelerator. So book your call now at acceleratorevent.com. All right. Hack number 4, how a $39 offer made us rich. Let me take you back to a time when we were stuck. We had a $999 offer. It was converting, people were buying, but we were bleeding cash because every sale was barely covering the ad spend. So I tried something crazy, something unique, something unheard of. I lowered the price. I took that $999 offer and carved out a slice of it for just $39. And suddenly, 62% of our traffic started conversion. You say, big deal. 62% at $39 is not a big deal, but 62% on cold traffic. But it gets better. They went from never heard of us before to please take my money in one single click. But here's where it gets wild. Once they said yes to $39, they kept going because the average order value, $829. And that's not even the best part. What would you rather have? 0% of conversions at $9.99 or 62% of conversions at $8.29? I think the answer is obvious, isn't it? The best part, guess how many of them paid up front for something they wouldn't even be delivered for 6 to 8 weeks? 68% said, here, take my money up front. 68% of the people paid in full for something they couldn't touch for over a month. I generated an extra $1.2 million in cash the first 30 days of that offer. Why? Because price isn't the problem. Value is the problem. Because when you lead with the right hook, people don't just buy, they commit. So if your cash flow is tight right now, if you're running ads that aren't paying off, if you're stacking up unpaid invoices and praying for a Stripe deposit, let me show you what we did. Let me show you how to build front end cash flow machines that literally print money before you even deliver. You want to see how it works? Join me in Indianapolis this July for the walkthrough of this breakthrough. This will change everything you thought you knew about creating offers. Are you ready? Go to acceleratorevent.com and book your call with myself and Seth right away before the calendar fills up. Seth, do we still have spots available? Because I have 2 more hacks I want to share.
Let me take a look here. Looks like there's a couple more slots this week, guys. So Sean and I are out of town next week and the week after. So this is the week that we're going to do the sales calls, or the I guess the calls for this event here. So if you want to just go ahead and grab that, you have time, but like only a few days here, Sean.
Yeah. All right. 2 more quick hacks. You guys are going to love these. This one comes from Seth. This is the 3-step close that prints money. I'm going to tell you something that really humbled me. Now, I've been selling literally my entire life ever since I learned how to talk, from door to boardrooms to big stage deals. But the first time Seth broke down his 3-step sales call process, I was straight up embarrassed because he showed me how he closes deals without sounding pushy, without pressure, without needing a slick pitch deck. And I just sat there like, what the heck? Wait, that's it? 3 simple steps that work on Zoom, in person, or anywhere, even in an elevator. No sleazy scripts, no fake scarcity, no bro tactics, just a clean, calm process that guides people to the sale naturally, logically, profitably. I looked at Seth and said, buddy, we have to share this. This is too dang good to keep secret. So we baked it into the boot camp. And once you see it, you're going to understand why. Because at Agency Accelerator, I'm going to unveil his 3-step process, his three-part slide deck or 3-part funnel deck. It's going to blow your mind. I personally watched Seth close sale after sale with that framework, and it looked like he wasn't even trying. Why are you afraid to sell? What are you in business for? Recently, before I started playing pickleball, which took over my life, I was flying all over the world, speaking at 30 or more events in a single year and closing deals. I'd watch my colleagues pat themselves on the back after giving a really entertaining presentation. They'd walk up after a session and say, Sean, that was too salesy. Tone it down. I mean, all over the world, Paris, Cape Town, Bangkok, Cancun, Mexico City. Too salesy, too salesy. How many times did you hear it, Seth? I said, whatever. I just smile and pocket the contracts and walk away with the cash, because here's the truth. I wasn't there to impress the audience. I was there to convert the right ones. My fellow speaker friends, they flew halfway around the world, burned 20 grand in travel, told a couple of jokes on stage and hoped someone would DM them later. No, dude, we're in Delhi, India. It takes me a whole day to get here and another 2 days to get acclimated to the environment. I'm not here to shake hands and kiss babies. I'm here to make money. I closed, I cashed, I bounced. If you're speaking or pitching or even taking calls and you're not converting, you're not doing business, you're doing stand up. I'm not saying you have to ask for money from the stage. No, that'd be underhanded. It's sleazy for a paid event. But you do need to make an offer, not a pitch that screams, I want that, right? This is your offer. Give it to me. Give it to me now. And then collect the leads so you can sell them later. Let Seth show you the 3-step process, and I promise you'll never approach a sales call the same again. It's all about asking questions because, as Seth says, quote, questions are the answer, unquote. You'll never feel sleazy about collecting cash. It's clean, it's simple, and it prints money. Hack number 6, Seth. How to increase webinar registrations by over 50%. How often? Every single time. So while we still have a few call slots available, book your call with Seth and me now at acceleratorevent.com before they fill up. And I'm going to show you how to, in Indianapolis, live in a few weeks, I'm going to show you how to increase your webinar registrations by over 50% every single time. One simple hack on our webinar, the registration page, it's so quick and easy to implement that boosts our registrations by over 50% every time we do it. So, of course, we never host a webinar without it. Imagine right now 50% more warm and highly targeting, there's a typo, contacts on your list that you'll never see in the wild. These Amazon sellers don't attend events. They're not part of any online groups. They're not on anyone's list yet. But this simple webinar hack will have them begging to join your marketing list. It will take you less than 10 minutes to activate, but you'll never host a webinar without it because it literally drags Amazon sellers out of obscurity, kicking and screaming to be pitched and sold your services. And your competition, I should say, they don't even know these sellers exist and they have no access to them, but you will with this hack. They'll never know what hit them, but they'll thank you for it real soon. You ready to stop guessing and start scaling? This event, Agency Accelerator, will not be available through any recording. You're either there in person or you're there virtually via live stream. Yes, we will live stream for those of you that can't make the trip. So if you're on the fence and you're saying, wow, I can't go to Indianapolis, I'm busy in the end of July. Well, guess what? We're going to live stream it for you. If you're not there, you're not on the live stream, you just missed it forever, plain and simple. So get your butt over to acceleratorevent.com, fill out a quick 30-second form, and let's see if you're actually qualified to sit in this room. This ain't for wannabes. This is for builders, for closers, for people who want to stop being invisible and start printing money on demand. At Agency Accelerator, we're handing you everything that we've done to create massive amounts of cash flow and recurring revenue in a whole bunch of agencies, some of which we sold for 7 times, 7x earnings. Go to acceleratorevent.com. You're going to get all that and a ton more goodies that you'll never see anywhere else. Maybe you've heard some of this before, but ask yourself this: are you actually doing any of it? And if so, is it working? Because we don't teach theory, we install systems. The stuff you'll leave with is battle tested, plug and play, and built to generate revenue the moment you use it. That's why this is different. Go to acceleratorevent.com, fill out the form, book a time, and we'll find out if this will help you. Just don't wait too long, though. Spots are limited, but excuses are unlimited, and regret is forever. But now is the time for action, isn't it? Let's do this. Seth?
Yeah, a couple people just were saying, hey, can you drop that call link one more time, Jessica? And see you, Drew. He said, good seeing you. Yep, great seeing you
See
too,
you, Drew.
I just posted that call link again for you, Jessica. And who else was it? Aaron had. So, yep, all good, guys. Jessica, if that works for you, I saw that we had a bunch of people book calls already. So make sure there's a spot this week that works for you while you're here with us. If there's not, let me know and we can work something out. I know just this week is really busy and next week is too. So we just want to make sure we get to all the calls, but we're working around a lot of stuff over here. So find a call in there that works. If you can't find one, just drop your email in the chat box and I'll work out something with you. All right, let's take a look here. Sean
What you got, buddy?
was gonna say, I can't get it to, can't find the
What are you
page I
trying
was
to do?
just on to try to call out the people by name that we're going to be speaking to. But okay.
Oh, I don't know where that is, man. But I really need a bio break. So hurry up. I've
Nope,
been
all
drinking too
good.
much water.
No, you're all good. As long as everybody has that link that wants it, I think we'll be good, guys. Somebody said earlier on Agency Accelerator or whatever link. What was that link again, Sean?
Acceleratorevent.com.
Accelerator event. They said somebody had to type in the www. So if you're trying that and you aren't getting it to work, just type in www. It should pull up for you.
Sounds good. Hey, I'm out of here, buddy. Thanks
All
for
right.
being a good host.
You
Peace.
too. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you
See you
soon.
guys.